Aaron, welcome back, mate. How I feel, bro. You just look drained with that. Drained.
Bro, we made hard work out of this one, man. Honestly. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very happy we're through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Is one step closer to winning a trophy, but I'm worried about the performance levels. If we're going to play like this against, let's just hypothetically say that, City beat, Newcastle, and Arsenal beat Sheffield. You play like this against Arsenal, they're putting 2 past you. You play like this against City, they're putting 4 or 5 past you. So I'm worried. And maybe this is another proof here that the players that have played in the first half, the ones that started, it's just another proof that there's a reason why some of them are on the bench. There's a reason why some of them don't even get considered to get minutes in the league. There's a reason why, some of them are being played for a few minutes, then taken off. There's a reason why. And there's just so many things in the game where I'm like, maybe we have to play our strongest team in every competition, because the quality on the bench is just not as good as, the first team. And it's sad because, technically speaking, when you have, and again, this is not me having a dig at Ollie and saying he's got no system, but when you have a clear system, doesn't matter who plays. I can compare this to what I said earlier when I was watching the Aston Villa against Wolves game. I tweeted and I said, Wolverhampton are like a machine. It doesn't matter who you put in or take out. The performance levels remain the same. You can play Jimenez and you can play Neto and you won't see any difference because it's the same job that they have to do. And I don't know if everyone in the squad, if you play Martial and then you play Igalo, obviously there's 2 different types of strikers, but is the job the same? That's what I'm saying. So I'm just really worried about the performance levels. If we're going to play this team that started today against a Man City, which most likely won't be the case, but if you play like this against a Man City in the semi-final of the FA Cup, knowing what City have gone through this season with all the games that they lost, the game that they just lost against Chelsea, them being 20 plus points behind Liverpool, they will put 4 or 5 past you with no remorse, no mercy.
Bro, and I hear a lot of what you're saying. I think on the Jimenez Neto thing, I think if I get where you're coming from, but Neto is never going to score the same level of. He isn't going to score the same level of goal. So I get your point, but
maybe it's the wrong example of players.
No, but I do get you. They can put in, if Dendoncker doesn't play and then he does play, they're very similar. I think there's the element of Nuno being a very, very good coach, and I'm not saying Ollie's been at his level, so I think we'll concur on that. What I would say is that I don't think some of our players that started today, Lingard, if you think about some players that started, Lingard, Mata's over the hill, but Lingard, Mata as examples, the low, Bailey, I'm still not convinced with. I think he looked. I just think Tawanzabi's a guy to go next to. I just think he looks less erratic. I don't think any of those guys are good enough to play for Wolves. I don't think they're better than the players that Wolves have got in their position now. So I get your point, but it's still about quality of personnel, because if we have Grealish and Van der Beek in that system today instead of Mata and Lingard, it's a different
outcome. Exactly.
The low, again, not good enough as an example. So it is, you're right. But if we come up against, in the semi-final, if we get Arsenal, Sheffield United, Leicester, Chelsea or City, we will play predominantly our strongest team. The only bit I was gutted about tonight, and I get why Ollie made so many changes. So Kev said that he didn't agree with making so many. I get why he did, because we could bring 5 to 6 substitutions on to change it. If it was max 3 as normal, I think you would have seen Pogba start. I think you would have seen Martial start. I think you would have seen Aaron Wan-Bissaka maybe start in that team. But I think we had the ability to do it. And the red card, which we deserved because we opened them up, that really helped as well, because it meant we could take Bailly off, bring Martial on. They weren't really a threat. But no, I get the worry. I get the concerns. And mine's more if we get a couple of injuries. If Pogba tweaks a hamstring this week and is out for 3 weeks, and Bruno tweaks an ankle in the next game, we can't make the top 4. We can't win the FA Cup. We can't win the Europa League. And that's the problem. It's that strength in depth is just, we're all or nothing. We're either, you get what I mean? We're either all or nothing. And if it goes, that's the trouble. Now, I'm not going to blame Ollie for that. That's a club. It's undoing 7 years of mediocrity. So, but that's why this summer, if we don't sign 3 or 4 players of good quality,
Mm-hmm.
we're failing again as a club. And that needs to happen, bro. But positive news, we are through.
Oh, thank God we are.
We are through.
Thank God.
Which is good. And we go to that semi. It means what's nice, we can sit down tomorrow afternoon, watch all the other quarterfinals and enjoy them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
me doing watch-alongs and reaction shows, if we were out, it'd be so painful watching them games tomorrow. It really would. But Aaron, bro, I appreciate you coming on, my man. And we'll chat again soon. Peace.
Peace.